Well, hello and welcome to Ivory Blush Roses. Today I'm going to make something for my car that I think is going to make it a lot easier for my artistic journeys, but also for some car camping. I'm going to make a little table. A lot of times I'll sit and watercolor from the car, and I'm always juggling everything because I don't have a good flat surface. Every surface in here is curved, and it just makes it a little awkward. It's also not very much room to work, so if I want to lay a drawing flat, I have to work on something really small. And I'd like to start working on some bigger pieces, but there's just not the space here. And even when I move the seat back, there's still just no place to really put a lot of stuff. So I'm going to make a table for my car, but it's going to be used in the back seat. So let me show you what we're going to do. Without having to move my driver's seat from its comfortable driving position, there's a lot of room in the back seat. My view is still pretty good. I think it's going to work out really well. If the weather is bad, it'll be a good place to be able to sit. I could eat a meal here. I could work on my laptop, or best yet, and the thing I probably use it most for, is I'll be able to paint. So I'm going to make a little table surface that goes right here. The table will suspend from the headrest here. It'll have two cords that go down to the left side and two that go down to the right side, but they'll go at such an angle that I don't think they're going to be in my workspace at all. It'll give me a lovely flat surface so that I don't need to worry about where I'm putting stuff. I think it'll give me lots of space to work, and I think it's going to be a really great option. So my first step is to make a paper template. Now, I started doing this before I thought, oh gee, I should film this. And I want to give credit out to Chase Christopher, who has a YouTube channel, and he does a fair amount of Subaru Outback builds. And he made one like this, and I'm really copying what he's doing. So this is not my original idea, but I do think it's going to be one that will make a tremendous difference in how I can make my car more versatile. It's just going to make such a big difference. So let's go make a table. So on this project, I didn't have a piece of cardboard big enough to use. So I started off with just some tissue paper, and I actually had to tape it to even get that. And then I had some smaller bits of cardboard, so I just taped them on the back to give me some strength. And then I'll take this out to the car and show you how I marked it with a pencil. So to make my first template, I brought out my tissue paper with cardboard. This was not cut out at the time, but I leaned it up as close as I could go and marked a rough outline. And then I trimmed it away, and I kept playing with it until it fit pretty well. I also closed the car door to make sure that I can use it when the car door is shut, because if it's raining and I'm on a trip, I'd like to be able to sit back here and work, and that would be really great. If I decided I needed more space between me and the table, I could actually move the car seat forward, and so that'll work pretty well. And so when I came back in, I kind of evened it up with the ruler, and I found the center of it, and I folded it over and marked it so I could mirror it and get a pretty similar shape on the other side. And then once I had that all down, I decided I needed to transfer it to a different one, to have one that wasn't all marked up and uneven. And I had a roll with a small piece of this kraft paper. I went rummaging through my art room and found a couple of bigger pieces of poster board, and so I taped some of that together, and I taped that down, and then I traced it onto that side. And then I double checked it again and again. And I did have to do a couple of additional adjustments, because that wood is going to be somewhere between 1/2 and 3/4 of an inch thick, and it's going to go here. So I had to adjust and firm that up so that it would fit well. And then this is what I'm using to mark my template on the wood with. At some point here I need to drill some holes in it because the way this is going to be supported is it's going to actually hang from the headrest of the front seat. I'm going to measure down about 3 inches and in. I think we're going to go about a 1/2 inch. And then here's where the curve starts down here, and I want to go about 3/4 inch above that. That's where I'm going to drill some 1/4 inch holes, and I'm going to do that on both sides. And so then I can transfer that marking to my board once I have the board cut. So I picked up this project panel from Lowe's, and it's just a piece of spruce. The finished size is really about 1/2 inch, but it's about 16 by 36 inches long. It's a good size for what I'm doing here. This side's really smooth. So with this project panel, I need to decide which end I want to focus on, and I don't like the stripy stuff on that end as much, so I'm going to put my template on this end. So I'm going to trace that onto that, and then it'll be time to take it out and jigsaw the shape out. But the nice thing is I don't have to cut this edge at all because I'm going to leave that nice straight edge. As you can see, I have got a helper today. He's not making this easy. I'm going to go ahead and mark . That gives me my work surface. I think that's going to be good. All right, let's go do some sawing. So I have my board set up. I have my old Black & Decker jigsaw. This was my dad's and I inherited it, and I use it all the time. I look at it and I think that's not straight, but it cuts straight and it does a good job. Okay, so next step is sanding those edges. I've just got a small sander here. That's better. I was getting ready to stain it and I realized I haven't drilled my holes, and I need to do that and sand those. Okay. Three stains. There's a Jacobian, this one's special walnut, and a gel mahogany stain. I don't think I want to go that dark, but I'm going to test them on this piece of scrap. This is the walnut, the Jacobian, and this is the mahogany. And I didn't think I was going to like that one, but I think that's actually the one I like once it's in here better. It's really red though. This is out. This is way too dark for this. So I'm actually wondering what that looks like with a little bit of the mahogany over it. Just don't think I want it too terribly red. That's the color I like. So I'm going to do a layer of walnut and one of mahogany. I wonder if that needs more walnut. I don't know. The stain roughed it up just a little bit, so I'm going to give it a light sand here, especially right over in this area and here. It's like there's few spots that are a little rough. Now that's feeling pretty good. So I got a water-based polyurethane satin stain. So I finished my tabletop. I ended up with 3 coats of the water-based polyurethane finish, and it feels really nice and it'll be a good surface to work on, and I did that on both the top and the bottom. And then I cut 2 lengths of this paracord, and I cut lengths that are, I don't know, they're somewhere between 3 and 4 feet in length. And then I trimmed the edges and I heated them with a lighter. And so I've got a little help here, as you can see. Mushu's trying to help out. Now that it's threaded through, I want to make what's called a stop knot. I'm going to take an end of it and I'm going to wrap it around my finger. And I want to cross it over. So I've got it where it crosses twice, and then I'm going to thread that end through. And I want to kind of pull this down as far as I can go. And it makes a nice big bulky knot. But now when I pull it down, it won't pull through that, and that knot is nice and secure, so it's going to stay really good. And let's go install this in the car. Here's where we're aiming to sit it. Now the next thing I have is I have 2 carabiners. These are going to clip around the headrest on the back of the front seat. I want it about there. I'm going to have pinched it at the level, and I'm going to make just a simple knot like so that I can thread the carabiner through. I think that's going to be pretty good. I think that's going to be about right. And the nice thing about this, right now I'm parked on a slope, so I can definitely adjust this some. I need to get this end down through here. Oh, this is so cool. I am so thrilled with this. And I just need to put in my knot here on this side. Alright, so like I said, I'm on a slope here, so I'm trying to be level with the windows. I think that's going to work great. It's so much sturdier than propping things up on the curved surfaces in the car. So to store it, I've just pulled the cords around. I have to come over this. If you don't do that, it's not long enough. But it just stores that nice and neatly here. And I'm going to trim these to have a little room for adjustment if I needed to. And since I haven't used it a lot yet, I'd like to give myself more leeway. So there we have it. There's my portable table for inside the car. I'm so pleased with how it turned out. My plan is to go on a day trip and maybe do some watercoloring from the car. I'm up at Brainerd Lake and it's raining. It was a good chance to try out my table. It is really coming down out there. The new car table is a complete success. I'm so happy with how it turned out and what a difference it made. Thanks so much for following along with me today. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next video.